Hey everyone, welcome back to our another video. Today we are going to discuss about a callback hell or pyramid of doom. So in previous video talked about callback function which we got huge response from viewers. So thank you all. So let's talk about the callback hell. So callback hell is a common problem in a JavaScript when working with the asynchronous code using callback. So it occurs when you have multiple nested callback functions making the code hard to read and maintain it. So let me write down here. It occurs when you have multiple nested callback function making the code hard to read and maintain. Okay, so this is about callback hell. So it occurs when you have multiple nested callback function making the code hard to read and maintain. So I'm going to discuss example for this. In this example we are going to make some situations where they can occur the callback hell. So I'm going to fetch the data from a server, then processing it and then saving it and sending a confirmation response using nested callback function. Okay, so I'm going to achieve in 4 steps. So firstly, like fetching data from server first, and second would be like processing it and then saving it and then confirmation response. Okay, a confirmation response. Okay, so here I'm going to write a for function which is going to create a callback hell. Okay, so let me write down the first here, fetching data from server. Okay, so I'm going to write a normal function. Let me give a proper name, fetch data from server, which will take a callback function as an argument. I'm going to implement using the set timeout here because making a network calls, it would going to become a asynchronous situation. So handling these situations, I'm going to take a set timeout, which will take another callback function. Okay, which is going to run after 1 second. Otherwise you can say like 1000 millisecond. So I'm going to make some dummy data. Const data equal to id is going to become 1 and name just I'm going to take a example data and nothing else. So this is our data. Let me log this. Once successfully fetched, then we are going to log it. So data fetched from server, you can write even data fetched from the server. Okay, so let's console this data in the log. Okay, once this data is fetched, then we are going to execute or call back after 1 second. So this data I'm going to pass for further processing it. So other function I'm going to write here for processing it. Okay, so let me write down the function here, process server data. So what we are data getting after fetch, this is going to take again a data with callback function. So here we are taking a 2 argument, one for data, one for callback. Which data we are getting? Which we are fetched from previous function. Okay, so let me write down again here set timeout, because once we going to make a process, it's also going to take some time. So I'm going to write a callback function here, which again going to execute after 1 second. Okay, so let me write here 1 second and let me process it. So process, you can like flatten or whatever you are going to do, that you can just do that. I'm here going to make a just data processed and then the log here going to print that okay, this is our data after process. So this process you can make like some inject something, you can inject that. Like earlier we have id one, name this. So in this data you can make like data dot processed. I'm going to add a one key here, processed equal to true. Okay, this data I'm going to process here. So once this is done, then we can call back our function. After the process data we can pass it here. Once this process is complete, I'm going to make another one, save data, save data to server, save data. Okay, so let me write the function here again, save data to the server. Okay, which again going to take this data and callback function. So let me write down this as set timeout again, because it's also going to take us some time. I'm going to pass a callback here again in anonymous. So also let's take a 1 second here and save it. So for saving it, I'm going to just console.log the data. Let me put a proper comment, data saved to server. Okay, this going to log over the console after successful save here. Okay, so let me pass this data which we save it in the server. So I'm just passing this data for further sending the response back. Okay, so let me write down the last for confirmation. So like this going to send confirmation to the client. Okay, so let me write down the function here, send confirmation to client. So here like naming proper, this is going to help to understand what this function going to do that. So I'm going to take a data and callback as an argument, and what we are going to do again, set timeout. This is going to take a function as a callback which is going to execute after 1 second. Okay, so let's do some here message, console.log confirmation sent to the client. So let me print this data what we are confirmation sending that, and then callback function after that, callback, then pass this data. So let's console the lastly here, fetching data from server. Let me write down all. So you see like we are doing with the 4 function call here. So be defining 4 function, one for fetch data from server. Let me write down the one, fetching data from server. Second, we are processing data, and third is saving data, and fourth is like sending confirmation back to the client. So each function use set timeout to introduce 1 second delay to simulate network or server interaction. So let me write down all the functions here. Okay, who's going to create a callback hell. So let me write down the console.log to understand properly. So let me write down here, fetching data from the server. Okay, so this is going to start. So let me invoke the first function, fetch data from server. I'm going to hit fetching the data from server, which taking a callback function. So let me pass this callback function with the data and write down the function here. So this again taking a processing server data, which again taking a data with callback function, and third we are saving the data, save data to the server. Okay, so process data what we have. So basically this call data we are taking here, and this function we are taking a process data, process and data, process data. So this process data going to take a here to save to data. So this process data I am going to take process data, and then another callback function I'm going to take a save data to the server, save the data. So this again going to call a send confirmation to the client. Okay, this going to take a saved data and callback function, here function, and then confirmation confirmation data going to take, and then this going to log lastly, because we executed all 4 steps. So let me log here all operations completed, and let me log this confirmation data. Okay, so what we are trying to do here, so basically we defining our 4 function: fetch data from server, process server data, let's see the process server data, and then we have save data to server, and then lastly send confirmation to the client. So the main part of this code is start by the fetching the data from server here. Okay, once this is start, so basically it's called the process data and invoke it callback when done. Basically we are processing data here and just invoking when our fetch data server is completed, then we are callback data here invoking. So the callback chain continue to the process data and save data and send the confirmation client. So basically the callback chain continue with the save data to server and finally with the send confirmation data to client. So each step depends on the completion of the previous step, if you see that here. So deeply nested callback is happening here. Okay, let me save it and see the output over the log here. You see, fetching the data from server, data fetch from server, data processed by adding the process true, and data saved to the server, confirmation sent to the client, and all operation is completed. So basically this is happening with the callback hell. So you see, like deeply nested callback, calling that you see first, second, third, fourth. So the final callback log the confirmation data that all operations have been completed. So basically this is the real-time situation when the callback hell is occurred. So basically what we are did here, actually we are trying the 4 real-time operation which we can occur in any object, any project basically. So like fetching the data from server and then processing it and then save it and then send confirmation to the client. So here all we are trying with what happening here, like actually each step depend on the completion of the previous system, because without fetching the data server you cannot process it, and without process it you cannot save to the server, and once you are saved then sending confirmation back that all the operation is completed. So this is the callback hell. So the callback log the printed, I can show you here. Let me clear this and reload again. So fetching data from server, data fetched from the server, data processed, data saved to the server, and confirmation sent to the client, and all operation completed. Okay, so this is our callback hell. So here is question, how we can improve our code this. So we have multiple ways to improving this situation using promises or async await. So I'll take another separate video to elaborate how we can remove this situation via promise and async await, which is going to make your code more readable and maintainable as well. So thank you so much for watching this guide, and if you have any comment or concern or feedback, or put your thought in the comment sections, I'll take a look and definitely going to reply on each. Thank you so much for watching.